If you're thinking about brightening up your yard for fall, consider just what a new tree or two will do. And when it comes to trees, everyone around here goes to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. At Bob Wine's 5-acre tree garden, you get the best selection, you get top quality, and prices that simply cannot be beat. Plus, whenever you buy one tree, you get a second tree just like it for half price. So come pick out your favorite large tree up to 6 feet or more, starting as low as $49.99. All the way up to its famous Super Jumbos, delivered, planted, and guaranteed for one low price. Be sure to check out the truckload sale on citrus trees. Your choice starting as low as $69.99. And by all means, check out the dwarf citrus, perfect for patios and small spaces. For almost 70 years, Bob Wines has been on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, just east of Lake Weir Avenue. They're open daily till 4, Saturdays till 3. You owe yourself a visit to this wonderful 5-acre garden.
Luby Bat Conservancy is excited to welcome everyone back to our 17th annual Florida Bat Festival held Saturday, October 23rd, 10 to 5. Bat Fest is a local family-friendly event held at Luby, where guests can enjoy games and activities in the kids zone, local artisans, food trucks, live music, craft beer from local breweries, and of course, the world's largest bats. Highlights include baby bats born this year and the grand opening of the new education center. For more information, visit the Luby Facebook page or www.luby.org/batfest.
Hi, this is Jack O'Brien, and I could tell you stories. Earl McKinley was waiting for a visit from his daughter Cassie, and he wasn't all that sure how things were going to go. They'd had a conversation that Earl understood completely, but Cassie thought Earl was confused, and so she wanted him to see the doctor while she was there. Well, the confusion happened because Cassie didn't know about the new road that led to her dad's place. The Sumter County supervisors had met a few months back to consider a plan from the developer to extend the main road. It's called Buena Vista, but they wanted to extend it another 23 miles. They were going to add another 12 roundabouts, and they took 6 hours to lay out the whole project. Well, Sonny Akers, the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, was getting frustrated. He'd already missed a dentist appointment, he might miss dinner, and he was just bored stiff with the presentation. So when they finally got to the point where attorney Margaret Woods says, "So we'd like the board to approve dedication of the new road and the 12 roundabouts." Akers says, "Miss Margaret, if that's all y'all wanted, you sure took the roundabout way to get there." Well, everybody starts laughing because Sonny made this joke, even though people who know him say it's pretty certain he didn't even realize it. But when everybody was laughing, and they're suddenly in good spirits after a grueling 6 hours, Chairman Akers gets the idea this might be a good chance to show how he's in charge and not the kind who's going to kowtow to the developer. So he says, "Well, I move we dedicate the entire road as roundabout way. All those in favor." Well, the lawyer starts going apoplectic, but it's not her call. All the supervisors shout, "Aye!" And that's it. The longest road in the United States is suddenly born with the name Roundabout Way. But the name has caused nothing but chaos since that day because it was confusing to people who don't know what happened. "So, Dad, how far is it from where you and Mom lived?" "Oh, it's all the way down almost to the other end, much farther south." "Well, should I take 301? "Well, yeah, you could do that, and then south of Wildwood take a right on 48 until you come to the traffic light, and then turn left and take the roundabout way." "Well, that sounds great, but what's the fastest way to get there?" "Well, honey, if I were you, I'd take the roundabout way." "Well, which way is that?" "Well, I just told you, Cassie. You turn right off 301, turn left at the light, and take the roundabout way for about 2-3 miles. Unfortunately, the two were unable to connect on that one crucial detail, the fact that the road that led pretty much straight to Earl's house sounded like it didn't. Earl knew exactly what he was saying, and he couldn't understand why Cassie didn't get it. Cassie thought Earl was looping, and instead of trying to discern what he was saying, she panicked and figured her dear dad had gone off the deep end. So, after he picked Cassie up on the way home, every time he passed a street sign, he'd say, "Cassie, what does that say?" And she'd say, "The roundabout way, Dad." And Cassie may have learned that she didn't have to panic about her dad growing old, that there was really nothing either one of them could do about it. Might have been easier had their thoughts connected better in that first phone call, but sometimes the best way to get where you need to be is the roundabout way. This is Jack O'Brien. Thanks for listening.
By like what you've just heard? I Could Tell You Stories with Jack O'Brien is brought to you by Brick City Digital. Hi, I'm Michael Warren, and at Brick City Digital Marketing, we believe every business has a great story to tell. Our job is to help your business tell your story in a way that brings more customers to your door. We help small businesses just like yours with web design, social media, SEO, video, and more. Visit us online at brickcity.com or call 352-351-1131 for a free consultation.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Friday morning. Still to come, we're going to talk with the folks with Luby Bats about the new bat habitat, They'll be in here at 9 o'clock to talk with us. 9:30, Susan Schmitz shows up for her for her appearance on the show, as she does every Friday at 9:30. And then at 10:30 today, it's What's the Line with Kevin Stone. He brings in his top 6 picks for your entertainment purposes only. That's at 10:30 this morning. I saw a story last night, and I saw the headline, and it was, it was one of those times when you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep, so you try to surf on your phone. I don't know if any of y'all do that, but I do. And you come across things, but you get a little tired. I may drop the phone on me because I'm halfway between sleep and awake. But I saw the headline, and I wrote down on the pad. I keep a pad next to the bed because anything that may come to me that I want to write down and not forget. And so I saw this, and I wrote it down to look it up today, and I did. And when I looked it up, I had the exact reaction I thought I would have. What? Yeah, that's the reaction I had when I read this story. I'm going to read you the headline, and then we'll get into the story a little bit. But here's the headline. And now this is in a recording obtained by NBC News. So this was a meeting that was recorded between a school curriculum director, a county curriculum director for a county school system, and a group of teachers. And the county administrator was telling the curriculum director, were telling the teachers what they need to do to make sure they don't violate a new law in the state. Talk about the state of Texas, and here's the headline. Texas school officials say classrooms with books on Holocaust must offer opposing views. I thought, okay, unless you're a believer in Hitler and Nazism, what is an opposing view to the Holocaust? So I read the story. A Texas school district official told educators if they keep books about the Holocaust, they would have to also offer opposing viewpoints in order to comply with a new state law. Gina Petty, the executive director of curriculum and instruction for Carroll Independent School Districts in Southlake, Texas, offered the guidance to teachers during a training on which books teachers can keep in their classroom libraries. She said, we're in the middle of a political mess, and you're in the middle of a political mess, and we just have to do the best we can. The training came after the Carroll School Board had reprimanded a 4th grade teacher after parents complained about a book on anti-racism in her class. And it followed the passage of a new Texas law that requires teachers who discuss widely debated and currently controversial issues of public policy or social affairs to examine the issues from diverse viewpoints without giving deference to any one perspective. So the instruction, and because of that new law, was if you teach about the Holocaust, you also have to teach that people think the Holocaust was a scam. What? 6 million Jews were exterminated in genocidal murder by the Nazis. Another countless number, we've never got an accurate number because he was on the winning side, of Jews were killed in Russia by Stalin. That's something that doesn't get talked about a whole lot, but it happened. But to have teachers, she said, make sure if you have a book on the Holocaust that you have one on opposing that has other perspective. One teacher asked a question that I would have asked. And that question was, who could oppose the Holocaust? This is where we've gone too far, folks. And I know why they did it. I know why the law was passed in a hurry. Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed into law. It was to say if you teach critical race theory, you got to teach opposing views. But it's Pandora's box, folks. We talk about the slippery slopes. Here's a prime example of the slippery slope right here. Because now, if you teach critical race theory, you got to teach opposing view. I'm okay with that. But if you teach about the Holocaust, you got to teach opposing views. It's when you start mandating curriculum by politicians. When politicians start mandating curriculum, you get issues like this. That handcuffs teachers. Because now, how are you going to teach about the Holocaust? It needs to be taught. But what's the opposing view of the Holocaust? Jews are bad. They should be exterminated. No, you don't need to teach that. But this Texas law says you do. And the Texas law wasn't, this is what it was designed for. It was designed simply to stop, critical race theory from being the only thing a teacher teaches in a classroom or his classroom. But see, a prime example of the slippery slope. Once you go down it, it's very hard to come back up. We're going to take a break. When we come back more in hour number 1 of Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.